Hello there. I like that tune. That tune's very nice. How are we all? We'll chuck on some nice little. I was having to play. I reckon I like the night. How's that? Is that too loud or is that alright? How's that? I don't mind that too much. Some handle at the back here. I don't mind that too much. That's not too bad. Oh, and beat's gone. So, hello there. How are you going, Skywalkers? We had a great discussion last week. So I'm just sending some links to some people so they can jump in if they want. A little bit happened, and we can chat about what it means for the future of Star Wars, where series and projects are going to be going. I've got a few thoughts that I'd like to share. How's the music, by the way, the background music? No worries, Skywalkers. No worries at all, man. Have a good shift. Stay safe. Sounds quite a bit louder. Thank you very much. We'll tone that down. There we go. We'll go there. Halved it. Halved it. Halved it. There we go. That should be all right. So we'll get into it in a couple minutes, guys. One more thing to send out. We should be good. Isaac might jump in at some point, by the way, because obviously this isn't a always two there are stream. Just with our schedules this week didn't quite line up that we're able to do it on the weekend. It's Monday morning now here in Australia. Was it Sunday night over there? Still Sunday night over in the States. So he didn't quite line up this week that we're able to do it together. I did send him the link though, because he's at school at the moment, but he did say he might be able to join for a couple minutes at some point. So yeah, if he's able to join then we can get him in and have a chat. But obviously on the thumbnail, the probably two biggest things that happened this week in Star Wars. Obviously Carl Weathers, RIP Carl Weathers. Very sad. It was quite a shock. Like there was nothing out there about him battling an illness or anything. So it was quite sudden from the outside. Here he is. The movie pod is here. Business class. He's in business class. He's got the AirPods in. He's watching us. What's going on, my guy? If you haven't, by the way, guys, go check out Isaac's video he uploaded last night. Almost 2 hours long. I think it was like an hour 42, hour 44 or something. Unreal. Probably took him like a solid 12 hours to upload it to, because of the high quality and that. But unreal effort from him. I watched a bit of it last night. Unreal. The production quality is very high, so it would have taken a long time. That's a movie length. A movie length for the movie pod, now 42 or whatever it was. That's insane. So yeah, if you guys are into movies or whatever, definitely go check that out, because that was insane. But yeah, Carl Weathers. So obviously Carl Weathers no longer with us. So Grief Karga, where does that leave us with Magistrate Grief Karga? I've got a few thoughts. I think his character probably left at a... Actually, I watched the last scene his character was in last night, just to refresh my memory, and it was where he gives Mando like the plot of land to live on, and obviously extends it to Din Grogu too. I just think that was probably... And then IG-11 gets reintroduced, and what's his title? Marshall. They reintroduce him as the Marshal of Navarro. So I think that could be a really good... I've seen some people say, like, maybe do a funeral scene for him or something, like, say his character died too, or... I've even seen some people say recast. Like, I don't think it works. Especially with someone like the magnitude of a Carl Weathers character, for example. It just doesn't work. And the way it's probably just worked out, I don't want to say well, but just where the character left off, I don't think they need to do anything with him at all. I think he could stay alive and we just don't see him. We might get references to him from his droid or IG-11 or something. But they could do something where, like, maybe he goes into retirement now. He could, because you can't really get rid of Navarro, because Navarro is where everything got left. It's not like you can just easily write that out of the story, because obviously all the Mandalorians have settled there. Mando himself and Grogu have that little plot, their little ranch that they're hanging out at for now. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But I think where we've left his character, it can get done, like, it can be maneuvered with quite easily, where, you know, they don't have to kill off the character, and he can still, like, yeah, I think there's a few options there they can go with. Could even be, you know, like a bit of a... Obviously, it was a bit easier with 3PO and Leia in the Ahsoka series, because Leia wasn't as central to the Ahsoka story as Grief Karga is to Mando. But that was just a nice little reference. But, like, just something like that, you know, you could have IG-11 or something rock up at a point here or there and say, look, Grief Karga's said this, got this message for you, blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, I think it's easily workable. I think it is. With the cards that we've been dealt with now, because obviously you'd want Grief Karga in. You want Carl Weathers in as Grief Karga. His character had become quite likable. His arc might have been skipped over a little bit, just because he's not a central character, but he's a consistent character. Obviously started off as head of the Bounty Hunters Guild, giving out the pucks. Then he was not an ally for a little while there. They had that battle before all the other Mandalorians came in and saved Mando. And now he's a confidant. He's a friend. So season 3 is actually quite good for Grief Karga. Season 3 is actually quite good. Season 2 even, but in season 3 I think we saw him more. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. I know we don't have a lot of people in here at the moment, but yeah, no, I thought what they did. I think where we've left Grief Karga, they can make do with it. They can make do with it. Now, I'll get this article up. I haven't actually read it, but actually, sorry, I don't think there is an article. But via a source who seems to not be too bad. I don't know how much he does with Star Wars. He seems to do a little bit more with Marvel. But Hayden Christensen is set to return as Anakin Skywalker in season 2 of Ahsoka. So this is what I'm all for this. This is what I want. I suppose the question is now, where do we see him? What do we see him doing? Because it'd be cool, but I don't think we're going to get more flashback scenes or anything. But could we get something is his the Force Ghost visiting her would be cool, but I just don't know how it quite fits into I just don't see it fitting into the lore a lot, because look here. I get her showing up, I get him showing up at the end there, not saying anything, and it would have only been very shortly. But I don't know how many of you guys have read this book. Great book, by the way. But in this book, so this takes place, I think I'm pretty sure it's literally halfway between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So a lot of it's following Luke. There's mysterious Sith. There's bits about Ochi of Festoon, Lando teaming up with Luke, trying to find his daughter. These sorts of things. Really, really cool arcs. The one that gave me absolute goosebumps, which isn't super at the start, but definitely in the first probably quarter or so of the book, is Luke. So Luke, Anakin Skywalker. What's going on, Anakin? What's going on? Actually, talking about you at the moment. And yeah, what happens in this book is actually, there's Ochi on the back. I've been reading the last series of Vader comics at the moment too, and Ochi is in that a lot too. Shows how he ended up, because he didn't used to look like that. But it shows how he ends up like that, and the impaired vision and all that's quite cool. But in that book, there's a bit there where Luke, he can feel something's not quite right in the Force. He knows something's going on out there, but he just doesn't know what. So he goes to it's escaping me. What's the it's the same planet that starts with a T, doesn't it? It's the same planet that Grogu went to when he got taken by the Dark Troopers. What is it? It's escaping me. Typhon. I was almost going to say Teth. I know it's not Teth. Typhon. So, Luke goes to that planet where Grogu was, is meditating, and he literally meditates himself through the Force and ends up on Exegol. Because he knows something's going on, he just doesn't know where, what, why. And yeah, he meditates himself through the Force, and ends up on Exegol. And he's just seeing this vast, flat landscape like you see in The Rise of Skywalker. I'm trying to think, I can't remember if he actually sees Palpatine's, like building, or if he's just seeing this flat. And then these, what's he describing as? These Sith Wraiths. So they're like these ghosts. He can see them. They've got forms, but he can't actually, like, when he ignites his saber, because they've got sabers too, he can't actually damage them or anything. They're like, they're not, there's no substance to them. They're just forms. And he's holding his own. There's like 7 of them, with like encircling him, and he's holding his own, but he does end up getting his ass kicked just a little bit. And when he's sort of on the ground, Anakin comes to his rescue, ignites his blue saber, and just kicks their ass. And then Luke ends up back on Tython. Anakin's there, but he starts like flickering in and out. He's trying to speak to him, and the voice is like fading in and out because he just can't keep projecting himself from wherever he is in the world of the Force. He just can't keep projecting himself for that long. And so he ends up just like fading away before he can get a lot out to Luke. So yeah, it's like, and that's like, Exegol's far away, so Anakin could project himself there for a little bit, but not super long periods of time. Like, it might have been 5 minutes. Might have been 5 minutes. It wouldn't have been much longer, if at all. Could have been even less. But yeah, that's what I mean. So like, Exegol's quite far away, but another galaxy away as well, which is where obviously Ahsoka and that is at the moment. I don't know if it's possible, man. Like, you might see him there, but I don't know how much dialogue and that we're going to get before he can stop. Like, there's only so long he can be there for at a time, especially if he's interacting, not just standing there. So we might only get bits and pieces. It might be good to see that, actually, that he can't project himself, because I know, like, not everyone, a lot more people watch Star Wars than read about Star Wars. So it might actually be good to see that, because then a lot more people... Obviously, I'm not a fan of the sequels, but there's bits and pieces here where you can sort of, I suppose, add to them and say, because a lot of people obviously say, why didn't Anakin tell Luke about Exegol? But I mean, he can still communicate, just not for long periods of time. You think, he might be able to rock up and say, hey, look, Palpatine's building an Exegol. Okay, bye. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, I'm trying to think, what other form could we get Anakin in? I'm not expecting more flashbacks. That'd be cool, but I'm not expecting them. Force Ghost. She's not going to go the world between worlds again, is she? I just trying to think of scenario. The only scenario that's popping into my head at the moment where I could see flashbacks is, along the way, because I'm guessing she's going to be sort of following in Baylan's footsteps, in like, because we've seen the sketches of her up also. With Sabine up on where we left Baylan, on the father's hand pointing out. Maybe along their journey they encounter some struggles, and it'll be like Ahsoka's obviously in a completely different mindset now. Like, she's calm, she's centered, she's she knows she's where she's meant to be. They might encounter some struggles and some obstacles along the way, and she'll be calm, and it'll be sort of like a flashback to, like, Anakin sort of instructing, helping Ahsoka through her challenges, and then it will be Ahsoka helping and instructing Sabine through her challenges. And, it could just be sort of like a callback in Ahsoka's head. She'll be like, okay, Anakin did this. I'll do this with Sabine, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking, or I don't know, something pretty crazy would be if, imagine we do get like that a flashback to when Anakin was on Mortis or something. Because I'm pretty sure they don't remember it, do they? It's all a dream. It was all a dream to. Oh, well, no, because Ahsoka's got more right now. But I'm gonna say it was meant to be sort of like all a dream to them. I thought, because I think it was Whitworth that posed the question and was like, did it even happen, sort of thing. Just trying to get people to think. But I'm thinking Ahsoka would have to not happen because obviously she's got Mora with her now. Otherwise, it'd be like, why is this owl following me? Well, it's not actually an owl, but it looks like one. She'd be like, yeah, why is this owl following me? But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have been following the MegaCon. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts as well on where we could see Anakin, how you'd like to see Anakin pop up in Ahsoka Season 2. Unless that's the season they do the flashback. Because I know Filoni's got a plan. He says he's got a plan. He just doesn't know where to put it in. That might be where we see Ahsoka and Luke meet for the first time. And just that cherry on top. Like, it's already good. But if there can be Anakin present at a meeting between the two of them, that would be insane. That would be nuts. That would be ridiculous. That would almost be my favorite Star Wars moment of all time. If that happened, I reckon. That would be ridiculous. Maybe that could be where it happens. I don't know. Just brainstorming here, guys. Just spitballing, spit something at me. Maybe I could be looking at it from a different angle. But that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Who is everyone's favorite Skywalker in existing Star Wars canon? He's got 3PO there. I suppose he made him. C-3PO Skywalker. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this photo going around on Twitter, or might even be on Instagram as well. But the people have been doing a live action Omega, and it's just like Tamura in the Boba Fett suit. But he's got long blonde hair, and they've done like a bit of a female filter on him. And you can tell he's maybe got a bit of makeup, some eyeliner or something. It is terrifying. It is terrifying. Don't look at it. It is genuinely terrifying. I wonder what he'd say if someone took that up to him and tried to get him to sign it. That would be insane. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on when Anakin show up. I might also... Should we do like a bit of a reaction video? I'm thinking because over the course of the past... Well, I mean, it's going on today as well. I reckon today might be the last day. Because obviously it's still Sunday over in the States. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday over there in Orlando, they've been having MegaCon. And MegaCon looks nuts. Who have they had? They've had Cameron Monaghan, they've had Danny Trejo, Iman Esfandi, Diana Leona Santo. Think of all the Star Wars people they've had there. D. Bradley Baker. I'm pretty sure the whole Clone Wars, like the main Clone Wars cast, I'm pretty sure Matt, James, and Ashley have been there too. And obviously, I haven't forgot the main two. Obviously, Hayden and Ewan were there, and they both did panels separately. I think Ewan might have done his first, and then Hayden came on after. I've watched a couple clips. There's one where he doesn't confirm they're in the world between worlds, but he just says like when he got the phone call from Filoni and he's like talking him through everything, and then Hayden was like, then you get to like the world between worlds. Just that's what they talked about. It doesn't actually mean they were there, but like it's pretty all confirmed they were there. It's confirmed without it literally being confirmed. There's enough things said in that scene to know he was in the world between worlds. There's enough things said to know. There's enough said. But yeah, I'm wondering if I should react to. Have they put up both here? Wait, how long did the panel go for? Oh wow! Oh no, okay. I was like, what? I thought, yeah, okay. I thought there was 2 parts to that Hayden one, and the second part was 37 minutes. Okay, so they've done part 1. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I might react to the Hayden one first, but yeah, he's filmed the whole thing by the looks of it. They all go for about 34 and 37 minutes. You have 34 and 37 minutes each. So I'm thinking, do I react to it and just see what they're saying? Because I know Hayden spoke about Ahsoka a bit, which this will probably be one of his first. Like, I think he's been in a con or 2 before it, after Ahsoka's release, but this is like one of his main opportunities where he's spoken about it. So I reckon if we do a reaction video, hopefully you guys can hear sound. Yeah, we'll full screen this. How's this gonna work? There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear sound. So actually not. I'm gonna, because I know I just don't know if it's on or not. I think it should be on. I'm gonna stop screen share. Screen share again. So we're gonna get this working. We're gonna get this walk working. Yeah, here we are. We got this. We got this on lock. Also share system audio, so that should do it. Actually, you know what? I'm still gonna share it. I'm just gonna share it through a different method. Yeah, there we go. This should work very nicely. All right, there we go. This looks good. This looks solid. Can this go away? Does this go away or not? That's right. Cool. This looks so big, doesn't it? How does that look? No. There we go. That looks solid. I like that a bit more. That looks solid. We will turn off our music.
Oh my gosh, everybody, it's Hayden Christensen! We're going to say goodbye to everybody. It was a pleasure having him on stage. Give it up for you! Hello, everyone.
I need to beat this dude so bad. Just quietly too. The photo, I've ordered a photo to get signed by him. It's getting signed. Oh, I think it's already been signed actually, because I saw a photo of them doing the signing with him. So fingers crossed that should get confirmed soonish, and that'll be on its way.
This is a proper theater. Yeah. We have 2,600 plus, and then we're standing room only just here for you and Ewan. Let's hear it for Hayden Christensen.
Thank you so much. Ewan and I were backstage earlier talking about just how nice this event has been and how much we've enjoyed getting to meet so many of you. So this has been really great. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming out. We're so excited to have you. I want to say, just because he brought it up, he was very jealous of your bomber jacket that you have on here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just got this sent to me not long ago, so I thought this would be a good place to sport it.
I love it. I love it. Did you? And that kind of brings up a question that we asked you. And obviously, you're traveling around the world. You're meeting all these fans at these conventions. We're here in Orlando. It's a big city for Star Wars collectors. Lightsabers and figurines and apparel. What's been like the most interesting thing that you've gotten recently to sign, or maybe just something out of all your signings, a prop or a replica or an apparel?
Oh, I don't know. There's you know, we sign a lot of lightsabers and Darth Vader helmets, but I just like seeing the new artwork. You know, you see all these artists come and they do these amazing drawings, and so that's sort of what I get a kick out of.
There's a festival of arts going on right now at Epcot. You know, and there were so many great artists just with different versions of you and their takes on it. With different characters. It's so beautiful. I want to ask you, have you been to Galaxy's Edge in either Hollywood or Orlando?
Yeah.
Talk about your experience stepping into that for the first time.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times. I think it was the one in California though at Disneyland.
For sure.
I don't know that I've been to the one here yet.
Similar. It's pretty much a replica, just different. Yeah.
I would imagine they're similar. Yes. But yeah, I did the Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Nice.
If you guys haven't done that, man, that ride, is unreal. That ride is unreal. The actors are so good that do it. Kylo chasing you is like insane. It is unreal. Although my favorite was probably the bounty hunter, the smuggler run one, where you're working for Hondo, you're in the Falcon, because you get put in like groups of 6, and the first 2 that walk in get to be the pilot and the co-pilot. The second 2 like press a couple buttons or something, and then the other 2 are like gunners or something. But me and my mate walked in, we were the first 2, so I got to sit in Han Solo's chair. He was in Chewie's chair as my co-pilot. It was insane. I don't know if I would have liked it as much if I was like in one of the other 4 roles. But yeah, make sure you're at the front of the line. At least that's how it worked out for me.
Such a great job with it. I always thought it would be such a cool job to be a Disney Imagineer, you know, the people that design the parks and the rides. I think they do such amazing work.
Oh yeah, they're geniuses, and even the folks on that ride, you know, the ride operators, they get to kind of take part in the action. It's an immersive ride.
Totally, yeah.
So
You
cool.
Feel like you're in
like,
Star Wars.
I need to go back.
I can picture like there'll be a fun surprise bit riding the ride of Resistance, and then Hayden Christensen there was like the rebels.
Disney
like,
parks.
Come on, follow me. Like we need to get out to the next thing.
There was like a few stormtroopers that kind of like looked at me a little long.
I need to put up the video. There's a video where Kylo just like goes after me. He tried to launch me, man. Stormtroopers let him make because he was filming them, so they go up to him, go like, you know, give us that data pad, blah blah blah, whatever. But then, yeah, Kylo gave me like a full interrogation. It's like terrifying.
Let's kick things off. As fans, we were so lucky to see you return as Anakin in the Obi-Wan series. But then we were even luckier to see you return in Ahsoka. Thank you.
Unreal, man.
You were touring with us last year, and I knew you had to keep it so secret, and you did such an amazing job. Now that it's out there, and we know,
right.
yeah. Now that it's out there, and we know about it, what is it like getting that double reaction from fans? So just another wave of fan reactions to your appearance in Ahsoka.
I can't tell you just how amazing the whole experience has been for me. You know, coming back on Obi-Wan was incredible. Getting to you know, swing a lightsaber with Ewan again was just a thrill. And then getting the phone call after we wrapped Obi-Wan, I wasn't aware of any other, you know, projects that I would be involved with.
Sure.
After we wrapped, I got a phone call from Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And I was just so excited again. You know, any chance I get to put on those Jedi robes, I'll take it.
Yeah, we had obviously in Obi-Wan we had the Jedi robes from the flashback. we had the suit of Darth with the battle. And then in Ahsoka, we get the battle outfit. You know, the Clone Wars
Clone
battle
Wars.
outfit. Yeah.
I was just, I don't know, so excited to get to portray that version of the character.
Yeah.
You know, when I had that call with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they were sort of walking me through mostly what was going to be in Episode 5, and you know, when he started talking about the world between worlds, and then we're going to go on this sort of journey.
See, like that's where he talks about the world between worlds. I wouldn't take that as him confirming that's where they were. Filoni might have just been talking to him about the concept of it, but like he's there. You know he's there. Like it pretty well confirms he was there if you didn't already have it confirmed.
Journey through Ahsoka's memories, and that we're going to need to revisit the Clone Wars. I just thought, you know, I was just so excited about the whole thing.
People have said that that Episode 5, Shadow Warrior, is some of the best Star Wars they've ever seen. In terms of it just the feeling of it, like you felt like you were in the world, and also was bringing everything together all at once. Talk about the reaction to that specific episode that you were in, you know, and just how it's really brought fans together from all the different series.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the episode is a really great one.
Yeah.
And what Dave Filoni accomplished is really remarkable. You know, sort of the context of it, and the way it sort of informs Ahsoka's journey. It's really clever storytelling.
Sure, for sure.
But you know, the response has been really nice. I get people coming up to me on the streets, just sort of saying like Ahsoka Episode 5. I know, me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, all of the praise should be directed towards Dave Filoni.
Oh my God.
Let's
hear it for the master. Specifically, the shot that I think gave everyone chills and was like, oh, is the quick transition from Anakin's back to Vader. Did you talk about that scene? You know, shooting it and then kind of seeing it with after post.
Again, I take no credit, because all I did is I showed up. I walked. That was all that was required from me. And the way that, you know, they shot that and they cut it together.
Sure.
And I just thought that the whole episode came out, you know, better than I could have hoped.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people also praised you for your integration of some of the mannerisms of Matt Lanford, you know, the voice actor. Give it up for Matt. Yeah. It felt like a seamless, again, a merging of two amazing performances, yours from the prequels and Matt's from the show. Did you listen to any of that? Did you study any of that, or did it sort of just come natural just as you were progressing?
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars, so I think through some process of osmosis, it kind of made its way in. No, it's a period in Anakin's life that I was aware of. I thought was very interesting, and obviously they explored it a lot in the Clone Wars, in the animated show that they did. But the opportunity to get to do that in live action was so compelling, and I wanted to bring it to life in the most sort of exciting way possible, and follow Dave's lead, and just sort of, you know, bring to life what was on the page, because it was all there in the script.
You talked about, you shouted out Dave a bunch of times, rightfully so and respectfully so, and you said following his lead. How do you enjoy, or what do you enjoy most about working with brilliant directors like that? Like, how does your director-actor dynamic work for you, and specifically with Dave?
Yeah, I working with Dave Filoni was one of the best experiences I've had as an actor, in terms of that director-actor relationship.
Sure.
And I think
Wow.
a part of me just really enjoys working with writer-directors, because there's a little bit more clarity there, and that, you know, you can kind of trust the script a little bit more. And it's a more accurate roadmap. You know, when you have a director working off of someone else's material, there's interpretation, and you always have to sort of wonder if your interpretations are aligned. But you know, obviously Dave knows Star Wars so well, and he knows this character so well. You know, he probably spent more time than I did working on Anakin and developing Anakin with George Lucas, and so there was just you know, an immense amount of trust, and you know, I knew he had a really exciting vision for it, and just his way of being a leader on set. You know, he really inspires everyone around him. The way he speaks about Star Wars is so insightful. You know, I remember when I was getting ready to do Obi-Wan, I was sort of doing a deep dive on the internet, just kind of looking for all of the information I found interesting, and I came across this video of Dave talking about the sort of the meaning behind the Battle of the Fates, Duel of the Fates, sorry. And it was just so, you know, I'd never heard it sort of put that way before, and it was just, you know, so smart and insightful. And he just naturally is like that, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a real joy to get to work with him and to see him, you know, sort of inspire everyone on set. It was great.
That's awesome. You mentioned doing some research so that you were ready when you got on set. You and joked that he was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't remember the planets. I need to remember the droid names." Were you nervous coming back to it that you'd like get on there and be like, "Whoa, I need a refresher here"?
Yeah, you know, there's always a little bit of that, but I don't know. I spent so much time with this character that it came back pretty easy. I just wanted to sort of like learn about all of the new Star Wars that maybe I wasn't caught up with.
Sure.
And that was a really enjoyable process, you know.
That's awesome. Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader is arguably the most complex character in all of Star Wars, right? Would we agree? That, yeah, in terms of like, you got to play him in his younger years, and then you got to come back as Vader in Obi-Wan, and then also back as the Clone Wars era Anakin. Did you find any challenges in portraying those sort of evolutions, you know, both all the way forward and then coming back? Was there anything you were trying to insert in his journey to make sure the audience really like followed along?
You mean in terms of the work we did in the prequels, or coming
like
back?
I guess coming back to it after the prequels, yeah, knowing that you were kind of bridging the gap timeline-wise.
You know, like, yeah, definitely. When we were doing Obi-Wan, we did the flashback sequence, and that was kind of like old hat. Like we'd done that before, and so that was just good fun. Going and doing the scene as Vader, that was new territory.
Right, exactly.
And then the same is true of Ahsoka. You know, playing the sort of wise mentor was a version we'd never sort of seen before.
Yeah.
And getting to do that, and then sort of, you know, trying to bring to life the Clone Wars Anakin. It's a balancing act, you know. And so even though I know the character, we're still sort of taking him in new directions, and you just hope that it resonates in a way with you guys as it did with me when I read the script.
I think it resonated. Am I right, everybody? Yeah. A lot of people talk about the scene we talked about, the quick transition from your back to Vader, but I think it was the glint in the eye when you turned from evil to, you know, dark side to light side. Yeah, right. Come on, man. That was fun.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I actually didn't. That was the one part that I wasn't really sure how we were going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because it was scripted as, you know, he sort of transitions back, you know, to Anakin.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was going to be some special effect or what it was going to be. And so that was just sort of what came to us in the moment, and I really liked that bit too.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was a beautiful performance. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of, give it up for Hayden. Speaking of beautiful performances, not only Star Wars, we love your character Stephen Glass in Shattered Glass. One of my all-time favorites, David Rice in Jumper. Is there, outside of your Star Wars career, is there a role or a character that you look back on that you're extremely fond of through your career?
Those are two that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
What can I tell you about those ones? Shattered Glass was a film that I did in between episode 2 and 3. And I had just started a production company with my brother, and we were looking for what was going to be our first film. And he came back from a meeting with sort of a pile of material, different scripts and books and magazine articles, and there was this one article that described, Stephen Glass's misdoings in journalism. If you haven't seen the film, it's about a journalist who fabricates a good portion of the stories. And there was something about it that spoke to me, I think, because I was just sort of getting my taste of how the media can sometimes not tell the full truth.
What's breaking news?
Yeah, it was like the first quote I'd ever read of mine, and it was odd. It quoted me saying that I had burned my hand when I was using a lightsaber because the batteries got too hot. And our lightsabers back then didn't have batteries in them, so it was a completely false statement. I was sort of surprised that sort of thing took place, and so the messaging of the story kind of spoke to me, and that's how we got into that one. David Rice, Jumper, that was a film I wanted to do because, thank you. I just really like the director, the filmmaker, Doug Liman. He's done a lot of great films. And I love the concept too, the idea of teleportation as a superpower kind of spoke to me as someone who travels a lot, and the idea of being able to just be anywhere whenever you want, I thought was a great idea.
I love that.
Yeah, but that was a fun one to make because we actually traveled to all the different locations around the world that are depicted in the story. So it was a fun one to get to make.
Was there one that stuck out to you, or that you're like, oh man, this is...
Locations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we got to film in the Colosseum in Rome, that was kind of special. And then they recreated the Colosseum in a soundstage in Toronto, where we did a lot of the filming, and we destroyed it. And that's where we got to make a mess of the Colosseum.
You mentioned getting misquoted. It was interesting you brought that up as a connection to Shattered Glass. I think that's super interesting. Star Wars is rife with fan fiction. That's fans writing their interpretations on things, memes, like social media. Yeah, people are like, all of that. Do you follow that? Do you follow along? Is there anything that you stuck out to you, or you just keep that over there somewhere?
I don't exactly follow it because I'm not on social media.
Right.
But I have a friend of mine who thinks it's his job to send me all of the Star Wars memes, and so I'm aware of a lot of them. And they make me laugh. I enjoy them.
Anyone stick out to you as kind of like?
There's a few. Off the top of my head, there's one that I quite like. In the scene where you have Sidious and Mace Windu, and Anakin's there, and he's having to choose, and Palpatine is shooting Force lightning at Mace Windu, and Mace Windu is blocking it, deflecting it back, and Sidious is saying, "Help me," and Anakin says, "Just stop shooting Force lightning at him, just blocking it back at you." Maybe there's some proof for that.
Very good. Good. Credit to whoever made that out there. So
there's another good one with Anakin and Padme in Naboo. There's a few.
Yes, that's the best one.
Yeah,
the best one.
Yeah, and she says, and you're gonna change things for the better, right? Right?
Yeah.
I like that one.
When it came out, that one, it was just the scene basically, and then the amount of times it's been reused for different topics in the news is incredible.
Great. I love how creative they can get.
Yeah, it is so good. And speaking of that, speaking of being in the public eye versus in the private, private versus public. I was gonna say a private eye, being a private eye.
I could be a private eye.
Yeah. How do you find that balance? We had the honor, and I've had the honor of interviewing a bunch of times in different cities, and it's always been a joy. And some things have come up that you enjoy doing. So you're an avid farmer, or you were an avid farmer. You have a ranch. You love mowing and snow blowing, and you enjoy making lakes.
I do.
Yeah.
Making lakes.
Ponds. I can't.
Ponds.
Lakes are. That's maybe one day I'll graduate to lakes, but right now I'm still on ponds.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what?
Talk to us a little bit
Literally is the
That's
chosen
where-
one if you
yeah,
just
what are your
makes
fun
lakes.
hobbies or activities that
I just
center yourself?
I just enjoy the sort of country life, and I like big equipment, and I've got a few toys at my farm. And snow blowing is definitely one of my favorite activities. It's
like blowing snow off your driveway, or?
Bobcat, which is like a skid steer machine, and it has all these different attachments. And one of them is there we go, Bobcat fan. Bobcats are the best. And there's a snow blower attachment, and I've got a nice long driveway. And when you get a really heavy snow, I mean, the thing will shoot snow like 20, 30 feet in the air, and it's just very satisfying.
That's kind of fun. That's kind of
I
fun.
love it. Yeah, it's soothing.
That's kind of fun.
Soothing, yeah.
All right, ready to go? Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah,
What's going on, JS? Oh, did she just finish? Did she? I was in there at the start, then I had to get ready and start mine.
Fans submit questions.
So yeah, I'm just going over Hayden's at the moment. I spoke about Grief Cargo and Anakin in Ahsoka season 2 before. Just going over Hayden's interview here, because I've seen a few clips. I just haven't seen everything. She's finished. Yeah.
It's online, and we picked a few. They're here in the crowd now, so I'm going to shout out their name. If you hear your name, give us a little hoop and holler, and we'll get through as many as we can. All right, this is Devin from Lake Worth.
I haven't seen any of these fan questions, I don't think.
Yeah, there we go. Hayden, we loved your Actors on Actors interview.
Oh, yeah, with Diego.
You spoke about your daughter a bit there. Talk about your daughter's relationship with Star Wars. Has she seen Star Wars yet, and how has that been?
She still hasn't seen it. So I was dragging my feet for a while, kind of wanting to hold off. But now she's 9 years old, and I feel like she's at an appropriate age where I could share it with her. Mm-hmm. And there have been a few times where I've actually offered it up, and I've said, sweetheart, would you like to watch Star Wars? And we're sitting down to watch something, and there's always something else that she's more interested in. So we're watching a lot of this show called Liv and Maddie right now. So
Liv and Maddie? I don't know what that is.
Watch Liv and Maddie, please.
There is a Young Jedi Adventures. That isn't maybe a bad entry point.
That would be a good one. I agree.
Yeah. But still, just nothing, huh?
No, not yet. But I'm hoping soon. Yeah, but I'm waiting on her now.
I love it. All right, this is Jade from Tampa.
Jade from Tampa. Julie, what's going on? We're just going through Hayden's interview at the moment. Had a bit of dialogue at the start, just talking. Yeah, it's kids news. Oh, Liv and Maddie. Yeah, okay. I was just talking about Grief Karga, where to from here, and Anakin being in Ahsoka season 2. So I might open the dialogue on those couple points after we've finished with Hayden's interview here.
There we go. This is interesting. Going back to the original prequels, did you talk about the audition process? Specifically, the question is, did you audition for any other roles besides Anakin, or was it just Anakin all the way?
No, but I wanted to.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, when I heard that they were auditioning for Anakin Skywalker, I thought that's really cool, but there's no way I'm ever going to get that. And I asked my agent at the time, are there any other roles, smaller roles that they're casting right now that I could be in consideration for? And there was not. And so I threw my name in the hat for Anakin. And it was a very long auditioning process. It went on for a few months, and I don't know, all throughout that process, I never in a million years thought that I was going to get the role.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped me because I was just able to enjoy it a little bit more, and I remember going to meet George Lucas for the first time at the Skywalker Ranch, and I was just so excited to get to be there. With no concept of maybe getting this role, but just hopefully that I would get like a souvenir or like a free.
I think in other interviews he said he gave him like George Lucas gave him like sort of a couple mugs and that, so just asked him a couple questions.
What was the? Oh my god! Not many people get to just step onto the Skywalker. What was the first thing that you saw, like Star Wars related, that at that ranch? That was like, oh my gosh.
There's a Yoda fountain.
Yeah, they've changed it. Yeah. It's Grogu now. I can't believe it.
First time. I
can't believe they got rid of Yoda for Grogu.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh no.
I love it.
They really Disneyfied it.
It's Star Wars everywhere.
Oh my gosh,
it's a pretty remarkable place.
It's funny that you say that you weren't. Was it that you weren't interested in that character and was hoping for something different? When you say you didn't.
No, Julie, have not. Have not shown Ewan yet. We can get to Ewan after though. I think was it 10 minutes left on this one. We can get to Ewan after though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure they changed it. I'm 99% sure they changed it. I swear I've seen that article.
It just seemed like too big of a role.
I know you want to see Ewan. I know you want to see Ewan. I'm sure I'll have some good little nuggets of gold that we can have a look at.
I was working on a TV show in Canada. Just the idea of playing sort of the central role in Star Wars, it seemed too big. It's not that I didn't want to. Of course, I would.
You just wouldn't think you could actually get it.
When I got the role, but yeah, my point being is just that I think when you don't take things too seriously and you don't sort of focus on the outcome of things, it helps you.
I love that, and that segues sort of in my brain to this next question. This is from Jessica McNair.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that me?
Jessica McNair. What's up?
Hi, Jessica.
Yeah. You're talking about like sort of mentally coming into a role, and Jessica says that they allowed us to share this, struggled with some mental health, and how it's super important to take care of your mental health. Is there anything that you do specifically to kind of keep yourself in that good place, that positive place that you can share with fans?
Snow blowing.
Yeah.
I snow blow in the wintertime, and I sit on my ride-on lawnmower in the summertime.
That's the life. That is the life.
We talked with Ewan a bunch about the lightsaber battles, of course. It's such an important part.
Oh, Ewan will have some good stuff about that. Hey, he also did Phantom Menace, obviously.
And just the difference in the lightsabers. And Dominic Picarillo, am I saying that right? Or Picarillo? Yeah, sorry. From Fort Myers, Florida, just wants to know, was the choreography difficult in the fighting scenes between you both, and how long did you both train for?
Yeah, I mean,
Also, so excited for the layer pop to get here. I'm so excited my mum and I are discussing it. Hopefully soon. When did I send it? A bit over... It's been a while now. Week and a half? Close to 2 weeks, maybe? I'm trying to think now. It's been... So hopefully it should be with you guys soon. Hopefully it should be with you guys soon. But yeah, no, definitely let me know when it arrives.
They're very elaborate, choreographed fights, and they take a long time to learn because neither you and I are actually trained swordsmen. Yeah. We're just actors. So, but we took it very seriously, and we spent months training. When we were doing the prequels, we'd go out to Australia a couple of months before and work with Nick Gillard.
Yeah, shout out to the
Australia
fight choreographer in the prequels. He just did amazing work, and that was a part of that process that I think I probably enjoyed.
Oh, who's getting the Padme one? Are you getting a Padme one, Julie, or is JS getting a Padme one? Yeah, no, I completely understand. I got a few. The only one I've got, I think, the last one I got was this Boba Fett one. And then I've got the rest of the Ahsoka ones on the way. Should get here either tomorrow or the day after. So when they come, I've got every Ahsoka series one out so far because I've got the first wave. I'm looking at the first wave right now. I need him to do like the Anakin ones. I need like Light Side Anakin, Dark Side Anakin, Clone Wars Anakin. Supposed to be sitting on a throne.
Enjoyed the most. Just getting to go to work, and you're going to like Jedi training camp.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Could not even imagine. That'd be
just,
like,
it was just a thrill.
that's the dream.
You had mentioned some raps on the knuckles.
Usually, yeah. We always
Everyone
we
knows
always
what
stick
they
a few
feel
on the
like.
knuckles.
But I mean, back then they were using like metal ones.
They were like badges of honor too. And
there'd be a few
I
broken
don't know if he
fingers,
shared
surely.
with you, but the lightsabers have changed a lot too. And so back then they were these
Sin
metal
City,
lightsabers. When you
what
got hit
is
on the
going on, my
knuckles,
guy?
It left a mark.
What is going on?
And
I got a helmetless Mando pop. Oh yeah, I saw that with Grogu. Yep. And I bought some other pops like Indiana Jones, Spider-Man, Avatar. Very nice.
Like if
Very
we
nice.
did a fight scene,
R.I.P. Carl Weathers, man. R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Yeah, go show it to the other one and be like, hey, look.
We'll talk. I spoke about him a bit before,
Can you reveal?
but we'll talk about him again in
yeah.
between this and the
It
you
was
and
a point
interview.
of pride, but we traded back and forth. But yeah, I mean, especially that fight on Mustafar. We spent a lot of time training for that. It was something that we knew was coming. We knew there was going to be this big showdown between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Sure.
And we wanted to make it as epic as possible.
And epic you did. Epic you did, sir. Yava! What's going on, my guy? What's going on?
Yeah, and so we trained and we trained. And
What's the profile picture?
We got the pacing up.
It's obviously a stormtrooper. What's the colorway? What is it? A crossover with something else?
We went from 10 to 11, and
you went to like 13.
I love it. I love it.
You went to
it perfectly segues into this final fan question from Kyle Wade, Fort Myers, Florida. You out there? Kyle Wade, bro. If Obi-Wan didn't have the high ground, do you? Kyle, it's not me. Obi-Wan didn't have the high ground. Do you think he still would have beaten Anakin?
No, it was all about the high ground, obviously.
Correct answer.
That's the whole premise of that scene there, and I always thought about it, that like in episode 1 when Obi-Wan is fighting Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Maul has the high ground.
Yeah.
And Ewan is down and he does this amazing move, looks over him, cuts him in half. And so I assume that would have been something.
This is actually the canon explanation. I don't know if he knows this is the canon explanation as to why Anakin, because obviously Anakin could have jumped way over him and taken the high ground himself. But this is actually, I don't know if he actually knows this or if this is just like his theory. But this is actually the reason.
Something that was like, folklore sort of level status, legend status, at the Jedi Academy. Everyone talked about it, obviously. So then when we got, when I'm confronted with I have the high ground, I'm sure that Anakin was in the back of his head thinking, I'm going to show him.
Didn't go so well.
And it didn't work out.
Are you ready to play a fun little game to wrap things up?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Quick note for the text. You don't have to bring it up here. We're just gonna stick with Hayden. All right, this or that, and I'll let you know how the audience voted and how we do. All right, this or that. Would you rather live in Cloud City or live in Naboo?
Naboo. It has to be. What are we saying, by the way, guys? Let's go through some comments while everyone answers. The Mount of Disaster, the King of Sting, the Count of Monte Fisto, the heavyweight champion of the world. Apollo Creed. Do you know the Creed? It's not even a hot take. I'm just calling myself out here. I have not seen Rocky. I know what everyone's reaction is going to be. I have not seen Rocky. My introduction, without knowing who he was at the time, was Happy Gilmore. I used to watch that movie so much as a kid. Happy Gilmore, Chubbs Peterson. That was my introduction to Carl Weathers. Good old Chubbs. It was surely. That's the thing, like, no one, like, obviously we're all on the outside, but there was nothing said about an illness or anything. So, yeah, either he had a really short illness or maybe he has just gone in his sleep. Like, yeah, it's It was very quick. Very quick. Yeah. Yeah, but he lived life to the fullest, and he's definitely left a big legacy behind. I'm doing good, Sin. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. What about you, my guy? What about you? Have you worked at, because if I remember correctly, you said you work at conventions. Yeah. Have you worked at MegaCon at all? Is that one of the ones you do? Yeah. I saw Rocky in the theater. My mum took me age 8. How many are there? Because I know they've done like the offset series with Creed. How many Rocky movies are there? I keep seeing after like 4 or 5 it goes downhill. Is that true? I know they kill off Apollo Creed at some point. Could be. Just could be, yeah. That's, I know 76 is, I feel like he should live older than 76. Like 70s, like, and he seems so healthy too. Like, yeah. Oh, also, by the way, yeah. Would you rather live in Cloud City or live in Naboo? I'm taking Naboo. I'm taking Naboo. I'm taking Naboo any day of the week. Hayden will take Naboo too, won't he? That's on Orlando, not Vegas. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. No, I knew it was on Orlando. I just didn't know if like you traveled or you just did ones in your area. So obviously you just stayed at Vegas then. We just did Gun and Outdoor Convention last week, the largest in the world. SHOT Show. Wow. Wow. 6 Rocky movies, 3 Creed movies. Is there a point where they start to go downhill or something? That's what I've heard. It's either after 4 or 5 they just like go downhill apparently. Or is that just like some people's opinion? The boot with Padme. I didn't even think about the company, dude. I'm just thinking planets, but yeah, company wise. Yeah. The boo with Padme is up here, like way above where the camera's showing. And then Cloud City with Lobot and all the Ugnaught is like below the ground. There's a very clear winner there.
I've been to Naboo.
Yeah.
Naboo's quite nice.
You've also been to
to
Cloud City,
Naboo
technically.
was the winner. Naboo was the winner.
The winner
Was the winner.
Yeah, good choice.
Hayden, just Hayden, you're Hayden. You would pick Cloud City. Yeah. Would you rather train under Yoda or train under Obi-Wan?
Would you rather train under Yoda or train under Obi-Wan? I never watched After 4 and haven't seen any of the Creed movies. Yeah, dude, like I genuinely have not seen either. I keep like acknowledging the fact I should watch them because I know they're all-time movies. I just haven't. I've seen little clips here and there, but just have not watched the movie. Would I rather train under Yoda or Obi-Wan? I suppose it depends what sort of Jedi you want to be. If you want to be a Jedi that sort of has maybe a bit of an edge to them, maybe you're probably gonna go with probably gonna go. It depends. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to be like a Jedi to the core, 100% selfless, no attachments. Like you can live life as a Jedi, as a pure Jedi. You're probably gonna go Yoda. But then if you start seeing things like corruption or maybe the Jedi Order going away from what they should be doing or how you believe they should be going, like what Dooku did and Yoda was his master. I think there's advantages to both of them. But Obi-Wan obviously got Anakin, and Anakin needed that father figure. And Anakin saw him as a father figure, but really Obi-Wan was a brother. And that's Obi-Wan saw him as a brother, Anakin saw him as a father. Jesse, great content you've been putting out. Oh, thank you, Julie. Keep it up. You educated Star Wars peeps. I always go look things up after your videos. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You do an amazing job putting them together. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yoda for you? Yeah, no, I 100% get that. Appreciate that, Sin. Appreciate that, man. Obi-Wan to go to the bar to get death sticks, Yoda to learn use stuff. I'm pretty sure, isn't there like a fan theory out there where they're like, what if Obi-Wan took the death sticks? That the actor that played the guy that offered him the death sticks, he's an Aussie. And at conventions all the time, they advertise Star Wars actor, and it's him. No disrespect to him whatsoever. Like, he is in Star Wars, but it's like, I'm not paying $50 or $100 to meet the Death Sticks guy. I just make stuff about stuff I find interesting, I guess. Like, I'm assuming some of you or most of the guys might have read this book, the old Revenge of the Sith novelization. I just started reading it the other day, and I get to like what page is it on? It's like the first couple pages. Yeah, page like 5. Page 5 of the book. And it's from like a citizen of the Republic's point of view, and they're seeing the Battle of Coruscant overhead just before Anakin and Obi-Wan rock up. And they're talking about like the legends of Kenobi and Skywalker, how like you always find one with the other, and they're just like they're almost like these gods to people, like they can save any situation. And then they're talking about Palpatine, how they think of him like he's admired. And then they list off two Jedi. One I don't know anything about, Sora Bulk. But then they say Depa Billaba. Because it goes saying like, because the stories are out there, not on the HoloNet. Of course, the HoloNet news is under the control of the Office of the Supreme Chancellor, and not even Palpatine's renowned. Oh, because they're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, saying some of the adults even whisper to themselves they might have fallen, because they're seeing this battle happen overhead, and like it's insane, because they hear about it happening in other places, but like this is an attack on like the heart of the Republic, and they're like freaking out, like what's going on. And they talk about Kenobi and Skywalker. Like they're thinking like they're the only guys that can save us right now, and like where are they? Maybe they're dead, maybe they're fallen, maybe they've fallen to the dark side, who knows. And because they're saying like, because the stories are out there, not on the HoloNet, which is like their internet, I guess, but they can watch stuff in that on there as well. The HoloNet news is under the control of the Office of the Supreme Chancellor, and not even Palpatine's renowned candle would allow tales like these to be told. But people hear whispers of names that the Jedi would like to pretend never existed. And then they list off Sora Bulk and Depa Billaba, Jedi who have fallen to the dark, who have joined the Separatists, or worse, who have massacred civilians or even murdered their comrades. The adults have a sickening suspicion that Jedi cannot be trusted. So, like, this novel, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, Depa Billaba fall to the dark side? Because obviously we see her in the Clone Wars up until her death in Order 66 at the start of the Bad Batch. I was like, what? And so, yeah, I had to do my research. And yeah, in Legends, she falls to the dark side. I was like, what? What's going on? So yeah, it's a canon novel. It doesn't have like the Legends logo or anything on it. It's a canon novel, but there's bits of it that apply to Legends only. So you have to be able to like differentiate what's Legends, what's canon. Because yeah, when I saw that, I was like, what's going on here? What's going on here? I'm eating dinner and watching Return of the Jedi on TV. That is the life. That is, you have achieved enlightenment. That is the life. There is not, screw a date, screw a 200 bottle of wine, screw a fancy restaurant. Give me a cheap dinner in Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith. I want that book so bad. I'm hoping they'll do a prequel trilogy. I remember you showing me that OT book. I had not seen that until then. I had not seen that. So yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I just got asked, what Thrawn quote do I want on my pop? Ooh. Ooh, that's a good question, Julie. All right, let's help her out, guys. I like, the one that comes straight to my mind is you need like her master is, and then you'd want like ... Anakin Skywalker. That'd be pretty cool. Or you can do the I'm forgetting exactly what it is, but this is like a frightening moment for everyone who opposes us, or say like that, or saying like that. Those are the two that come to mind immediately. Because you can't do one too big, really, can you? Because you want it to look nice, I suppose, but be able to fit there. July is the signing. You do have time then. You do have time. I like that Jesse isn't only talking about one side, and he admits and discusses the pros and cons, and not just the narrow view of the Disney Jedi. Yeah, mate. Anakin Obi-Wan. Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Republic. That's the thing, dude. He's like, him and Kenobi are just like these legends. I love hearing sort of like the perspective of just like, you know, an everyday citizen or something, how they view them. I agree, 200% encompasses all of it. I like, yeah, I know, I like to, because I know my point of view and my opinions are only one aspect of it, so I like to try and acknowledge everyone's, or like all the possible opinions or all the other takes I've heard. Just so you know, I can give as much of an informed story as possible, and because it's on my videos, I'm just like sort of not rambling, but I'm just talking. And if I can give people my opinion, but then the other ones that people I've seen people talk about, then you know, the viewer can make up their own, I suppose, educated opinion. So yeah. The hero with no fear. Facts. Was going to get a tattoo of Annie with the hero with no fear under his pick. That'd be dope, man. That'd be so cool. What sort of Anakin would you get? Like Revenge of the Sith Anakin? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Timothy Zahn is doing autos as well, same time. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Is there something you could get like dual signed by them? Like, would it be a book or? That'd be cool though. That'd be cool. Whatever happens next happens to the both of us. Yeah, that could be one. That could be one. I'd probably see. I'm fussy with quotes. I want the quote to match the pop. So if that was me, I'd probably own. Because I'm assuming, what pop are you getting signed, Jill? Are you getting like the Ahsoka one, or are you getting one of the Rebels ones? If it was one of the Rebels ones, I'd get that quote. But if it's the Ahsoka one, I'd get one that happened in the Ahsoka series. That's just me. I'm just fussy like that. That's just me. It's like with like actors signing. Yeah, nah. That's just me. I'm just fussy like that. I'm just fussy like that. Pointing out bad or negative stuff doesn't make someone toxic or an ist or a phobe's being fair. No, exactly. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, like, yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, it's like I think like race. I think Ray is a good one for that. Like, I know I love Daisy. I don't like Ray. And Star Wars fans need to be able to differentiate between the two. If you don't like the character, that's fine. But don't take it out on the actor. Don't do that. We've done that so many times where it'll be like Ahmed Best with Jar Jar, Anakin with Hayden, or Hayden with Anakin, Kelly Marie Tran with Rose, Moses Ingram and Raver, and yeah, Daisy and Ray. But at the same time, I know I've seen, like, you see photos of little girls hugging Daisy Ridley and dressing up like Ray, and you know that's like Ray to them will be like what Luke and Anakin are to me. So let's get more people involved in Star Wars, creating like the next generation of fans. Yeah, like I can see both sides. I'm not so hell-bent on my opinion of I don't like Ray that I can't acknowledge the other side and be like, you know, there is a silver lining. Obviously, the Ray her character's written doesn't necessarily fit Star Wars as I see it, but what she means to like little girls and that is it's priceless. So, and I'm hoping our movie's good. I'm not praying on its downfall at all. I want to go see the movie. I'm going to go to the midnight screening when it comes out. Like, I want it to do well, and I don't know, it could add to the sequels a bit. I don't know. Yeah, no, 100%. I've still got the books sitting here. I've got so many books sitting here. I need to read them. I need to read them all. Jesse, in those novels, the Republic and the HoloNet used Annie and Obi's exploits like on the nightly news and for propaganda to get support for the war. Annie's was the hero with no fear. Yeah, right. Okay. Because yeah, I've seen it mentioned a couple times. Mentioned a couple times. When was the other time the HoloNet was? I think it was in the Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view book. When Anakin dies and Obi-Wan comes to like rescue him from falling into the Force forever so he can become a Force ghost. And I think they're talking about being a hero or something. And Obi-Wan says something like, it's not like the days on the HoloNet. So I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Jesse, I have a video suggestion. Talk to me, Julie. Talk to me. I love Ray so much. I literally see things like this. I get things like this. Yeah. No, this is what I'm talking about. This is the silver line. This is the positive side of Ray as a character. It's gonna inspire other people. It's gonna get a lot of people into Star Wars. No, this is the other side that I don't fall into, but I get and I can appreciate. It's not that men hate women or only want men in hero roles. It's the attack against men who point out crap writing, no character. Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, that's what I mean. So, Ray's the one that we probably get. I don't know if attack's the right word, but kind of. But Ray's the character that I suppose gets pointed out the most. I'll do it in trying to think the best way to say it. I think some people just get too caught up in, I don't even know where the gender stuff comes from, because it's not only women. It happened to this beautiful man right here. It happened to Ahmed Best as well. It's happened to both genders over the years. It's just that Ray's the latest one, and because of the whole clusterfuck of the sequels and no cohesion and all that between 7, 8, 9, because 2 different directors did it, and obviously what they did to Luke Skywalker. I don't know why the gender stuff has to come into it, because I don't like you said, I don't care. I don't care if it's a man, a woman, an alien, a human. I don't care who it is. I just want it to be written well and to fit the Star Wars that I know. And I know a lot of people who sort of subscribe to that, but yeah, it's not the issues with Rey have literally less than 0 to her being female is we've grown up with Princess Leia, we've grown up with Padme, we've grown up with Ahsoka. I don't understand where the men versus women debate comes into it, because I don't care. I don't care. Just write them well. That's all I want. And I'm looking forward to the Rey movie. I want it to do well. It's just that obviously they've got a bit of a poor platform to launch off with how she was done in the sequels, but I want it to do well. I'm going to be on the cinema website as soon as tickets come out for it. I'm going to be booking that midnight screening, and I'll be there as soon as it rocks up. But yeah, I just want it to do well, man. I just want it to do well. Hello, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. I loved Rocky and Predator. See, Predator's another movie. I haven't actually seen Predator. As a kid in the 90s. Yeah, cool, man. Cool. Ray and Finn should have been our heroes for the next 20 years, but they're lazy and forced the agenda. I see, that's another thing I'm actually looking forward to in the Ray movie. I want John Boyega back. I want him to get his redemption and get the arc that he should have had. But I don't know. We'll see. You would be the perfect person to explain the difference between legends and canon. Okay. I think you'd be right to the point, men including me don't grasp. But okay. That's actually a really good idea, Julie. I might even learn something along the way as well, but I think I've got a pretty good idea, just off the top of my head. But I'll save it for that's actually a good idea. I reckon we can almost lock that in. I reckon we can almost lock that in as a video, Julie. I don't actually mind that at all, Julie. That's a very good idea. Thank you very much. Give you a little shout out in the introduction. Ray and Finn should have got together in the sequel trilogy, then have their kids as the next Jedi. Maybe. I don't really care about the that was another thing. There was just no cohesion there, because it went from Finn being into Ray, then Finn being into Rose, and then Poe being into Rey, and then in Rise of Skywalker it was Poe and Finn were both competing for Rey, and then and then it was Poe and Finn were just brothers, and they didn't really they weren't into the romance side of it with Rey anymore. So there's just no cohesion, man. There's about 5 different possible romantic arcs with Rey, and then she ends up kissing Ben Solo. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I did see Daisy actually talk about that kiss the other day, and what'd she say? She said it was more of her saying thank you to Ben rather than it actually being romantic, or that was how I interpreted it, at least. Agreed. You said what minute? Oh, that's good. That's good. I said it well in the end. If you look without the woke lens, it's clear what Disney Marvel are doing. The males are weak, dumb, and foolish, and the women are better, smarter, stronger as their public stated goal. I can't really speak on the Marvel stuff too much because I've watched a few of the movies in that, but I haven't watched any of the Disney Plus series. I've fallen off a bit after probably Endgame, I reckon. I've watched most of the movies that have come out, but I fell off a bit after Endgame, not gonna lie. But I mean, yeah, in a way, I suppose it comes down to the writing though, because it's if you go to someone like a Filoni and a Favreau, and then all the directors we've had with Bryce Dallas Howard, Patty, Rick, who else have done some episodes? Peyton Reed, Carl Weathers directed a couple of Mando. I think it just comes down to who's writing it. Because if you've got those guys that have worked on Mando and all that, we know we're going to get Star Wars that, or at least I know I'm going to get Star Wars that I like. Whereas obviously JJ and Ryan probably just didn't have the cohesion they needed, and they just completely missed it for me. They completely missed it. There's some cool little bits in there, but just completely missed it. Completely missed it. He needs it. Yeah, Finn needs his arc for sure. Don't hate me on this, but I just got to say, definitely not going to hate you, JS. I just don't like how woke came into the picture. That never existed when I was a kid. It's not my favorite word. No, I get that, man. I get that. No, we don't hate you, JS. We love you. We love you. No, yeah, I get that. It's just become a thing now, though, and yeah. Yeah, no, I'm actually keen to make this video now, because I've been making a lot of shorts lately. I've been making pretty well daily shorts lately, with a video every week or two. I think my last one was the Sabine's Not a Mary Sue one. So yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Julie. Luke vs. Snoke should have been the ending to The Last Jedi. And then what? Luke kills Snoke, and then he doesn't die. And what happens in Rise of Skywalker then? I want to hear how the trilogy ends. Just rather than focus on good stories, good characters, and continuing the mystery adventure of fun, they want to make everyone gay, everyone a minority, bash the OG males, etc. I just want to see. There's probably just more so a level of respect there as well to the OG character. I'm not saying you don't have to not kill them off. I get killing Han for Kylo's arc. I get that, because that just cements him in the dark side. But at least pay some homage to George, the OT, and what it was. Doesn't have to be known as fan service, but give Han and Luke a scene together. Do you know how beautiful it would have been to have seen Leia, Luke, and Han together, and we're just never going to get that scene now? That's one of the things that actually gets me a lot. I hate that so much. At the end of the day, give me some good writing, some new characters and plots, some old characters, and I'm good. I don't go with all the other stuff. I'm just a fan. And that's it. That's all we want, Julie. That's all we want. We want some good writing, good characters, good story arcs. And the sequel missed on a lot of that. For me, it missed on a lot of that. think I'm wrong about any of the work stuff. Name one show from Marvel Lucasfilm featuring a male lead in the last 2 years. They replaced Pedro with Katie. All their new content is female centric. Well, I mean, Mando's getting his own movie now. Like I get what you're saying, and like I agree with it. I do agree with it to an extent. Just wait, I was just saying what Retro Lad's written, and I love it. Sequel trilogy, Snoke wants Luke's blood, and that's why he ran away to that island because of super clones of the Skywalker bloodline. Kylo finds Vader's mask in Luke's temple, and Mara Jade killed by Snoke. I like that a lot. I like because that gives like I know it ends up with Luke in exile kind of thing, but it's more for him to protect the galaxy from a point of strength rather than him running away through weakness. No, I agree with that. I like that a lot. Sabine is not a Mary Sue, but also should not be a Jedi. See, I didn't think she should be a Jedi before the Ahsoka series, but after it, I was okay with it because going back to Tar Vizsla, she's a part of Clan. Well, she's obviously not in Clan Vizsla, but her family stems from Clan Vizsla. So her midichlorian count would be higher than that of just an average human being. I spoke about all this in the video, but like I get it, and either way they went with it, I would have been I wouldn't have minded. But when she became able to use the Force, instead of just bashing it straight away, I did what I think Sam Witt was spoken about it with the prequels. He rewatched them when they're coming out because he's like, this is different to the OT. I'm trying to see what I'm not going to write George Lucas off. I'm going to see why he's done them in a certain way. And he finally understood it. And, obviously appreciate and loved him a lot after that. So that's what I did with Sabine. I was like, why has she become able to use the Force? And yeah, there was just, it made sense to me after doing a bit of research. Because I'm not just going to write Filoni off. Filoni knows Star Wars, so I did my research and it made sense to me, and I was okay with it. I'm happy with it. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. There's obviously a lot more elements than her just being part of Vizsla's bloodline, but I've spoken about it all in the video. But yeah, there's just a lot of elements there. Going back to Rebels and through to Ahsoka, where I think she's just able to move past a lot of the trauma and that had happened before, and Ahsoka sort of helped alleviate a lot of it. So let's say stuff short. The shorts are very powerful. No, they are. They're great for getting outreach. But I don't know. I like making shorts, but there's also something about long videos I really like too, or long form videos I really like too. Oh no, I've already read that. I'm with Julie. I think as long as I enjoy it, then I'm fine with it. Yeah, absolutely. Getting old and Wayne Gavin, one of his friends in the galaxy. I was a deadbeat dad, abandoning family. Lando, gay, sex, staff of Luke literally hates Luke, and that's confirmed. It just doesn't make sense why they did Luke that way. It doesn't make sense why they did Luke that way. It'll never make sense to me. It'll never make sense to me. It'll never make sense. I'm going to have to agree with Sin though. Last 2 series went off track. They tried too hard. What 2 series? Obviously, Mando season 3. Are we talking about Ahsoka? Are we talking about Ahsoka? I know you're probably referencing Mando season 3 there, and I know a lot of people think that I know it wasn't as good as season 1 and 2, and maybe Din did take a bit of a backseat in this one. I'm hoping it will just be sort of like a developmental one. Katie's already said, it's not like Bo-Katan's taking over Mando or anything. So I'm really interested to see She just had to be sort of the catalyst to bring those, like her group of Mandalorians together with Dins and the Armorers. I think the beauty of being a Jedi is being diminished. I can see that. I get that. So I've never really thought about that. Hey, I can see where you're coming from. Because obviously, like, there's a few more showing up nowadays. Only thing I can look at from a positive point of view on that one is they're just building on sort of like what George Lucas has stated before in interviews and stuff, you know, with him saying everybody's force sensitive. Obviously, not everyone can use the force, though. Everyone is force sensitive, though. But I suppose at the same time, because a lot of the stuff we get now is like out of the prequel era and even after the OT era, where, you know, they're not this elite academy anymore with a temple, and you know, they're a lot different nowadays. They're still Jedi and adhere to sort of the same basic values, but they're different. They're not the prequel Jedi that we know. Why couldn't Sabine just be the badass Mando she was training to be and growing to be? Her being a Jedi now and more powerful than Ezra, who won't use a saber, so she can shine. Ezra will use a saber. Ezra will use a saber. I promise you, Ezra will use a saber. I think, like, he used it in episode, like, in the season finale, obviously. I think at the start, I think in episode 7, he didn't, obviously he didn't have one. I think that was just to show as well just how powerful with the Force he was now, because that's all he had to rely on for the last X amount of years. He'd been trapped there. You know, he didn't have his lightsaber, so I think that was just showing us how powerful he'd become. He'll use a saber. Don't stress. Do not stress. He will use a saber. He will use the saber. Luke hid Rey away because she was a Padawan and it was his friend's daughter. He mind wiped her mind to protect her. She was a prodigy student. That's why she had potential to be the next master. Yeah, see, something like that would have been cool. They needed to know where she came from as well. Like, before they started the sequel trilogy, not make up. Oh, it could be Obi-Wan's daughter. No, it might be nobody. Oh, no, she's Palpatine's daughter. Granddaughter. It's just like... Being a Jedi has been a superhero. Now everyone is a Jedi. Remember the Incredibles. If everyone is special, nobody is special. I mean, what was that? There was around 10,000. There was around 10,000 at the height of the Republic, as Kanan said. I wouldn't say now everyone is a Jedi, because you still have to have an aptitude for it, because everyone's force sensitive, but midichlorians determine like your talent level. So Sabine, it makes sense that Sabine's talent level is higher than just like a regular being, because her bloodline stems from Tar Vizsla, the OG Mando Jedi, the creator of the Darksaber. So that one makes sense to me. That one makes sense. Oh, and Obi-Wan? Yeah. No, yeah. See, Raven was just poorly written again. Raven could have been badass, because like the way they were talking about her in the interviews was like, you know, she's this savage, cuts off someone's hand just for like not offering up information or something. It's like, what, like, whoa. And then like she did that in the first episode, I think, and then it was just downhill. I don't know if they were trying to write her to be annoying, as in like that's how the other Inquisitors perceive her, because obviously they did not like her. But yeah, I know. Just missed the mark on that one. Just missed the mark on that one. I would have put an older Ahsoka in episode 9. I mean, technically, well, that's the thing. Is she dead? We hear her voice, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's dead. But Ahsoka took a backseat in my eyes as well. They're cramming a lot in. Yeah. I thought Ahsoka still had a solid role. Personally, I probably just would have liked to see more of Balin towards the end. But obviously, there was a lot of like different like storylines that had to fit in, not just Ahsoka. Obviously, it was her show. and it was still about her journey, which Anakin helped along the way. But there was also, like a lot of other storylines they were telling us, so like Hera with the New Republic, the Night Sisters. You've got Morgan, Balin, Shin. What are they up to? Thrawn coming back. Obviously, like episode 6 was pretty like she was non-existent in pretty well because that was her episode to take the journey to Peridia. So we only saw her at the start of that one, didn't we? Then Hu Yang begins to tell the story of a galaxy a long, long time ago. My take is the sequel trilogy hurt itself. Each movie retconned each other. It would have been great to see a different storyline that isn't a rehash of the OT. Yeah, see, that was like one of my first like Force Awakens was cool, but then like after sort of thinking about it, I was like, that was kind of just like A New Hope, wasn't it? And Mark Hamill even said the same thing. Like it was cool to see Star Wars back in the theaters and that sort of thing. The trailer was unreal. Like everyone remembers the time that trailer came out. But yeah, it was an interesting one. It was an interesting one because it was a cool film, but at the same time, I was like, I saw this film as a kid. It came out. What was it, 2015 through to back to 77, however many years that is. 38 years ago. Basically, Rey was the last student to be alive. That's why Luke hit her away. Yeah, something like that would have been cooler. And explained, why she knows how to use the Force even a little bit. And she's aware of the concept of a mind trick. Not just, when she resisted Kylo, she was able to see into his mind and download some of his abilities. I was like, that is such a ridiculous explanation. That is so ridiculous. And that is actually the canon explanation. Like, that is insane. At the height of the Jedi before Order 66, there were 10,000 Jedi. Correct. Think about that. 10,000 out of trillions and trillions. Now everyone can force push awesome fighter pilot. I know. Yeah, it was like everyone in the sequel trilogy was like a... Well, I mean, you've got Han. Han's a really good pilot. So, like... But, like, it's almost like in the sequel trilogy, everyone sort of took elements from Luke Skywalker. You got Rey, who's the Jedi. You've got Poe, who's the awesome fighter pilot. That was Luke too. And then Finn. I don't know. Finn. I don't know. I don't know Finn. I know he's injured at the end of the middle episode of the trilogy. Yeah. Look at people now thinking Omega is Force sensitive. I think she's just being a kid. Yeah, she's... No way they're going to make her Force sensitive. I'm so keen to see what happens with her, though. I'm so keen to see what happens with Omega. Julie, have you seen the... I think I talked about it before, but not many people were in it. Have you seen the edit that's gone around of... it's like Omega in live action, and it's Boba Fett, Tamura in the Boba Fett outfit, and he's got like blonde hair, and they've like filtered so he looks a bit female, and that it's terrifying. It is terrifying. Not stressing the least about Ezra. I never liked... I was making a point about them diminishing males to lift up women and write good stories with good characters. Never liked Ezra. Damn. Why don't you like Ezra, Sin? This would actually be interesting. I don't know if I've actually met someone that doesn't like Ezra. I'm actually can't. No, I just want to hear your take on it. Old Republic, Game of Thrones, anyone can die. Can we have that show, please? Well, see, here's another one. I haven't seen Rocky and I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I've seen some clips. Like I know how Pedro dies in it and that. And I know Tala's character was in it. But no, I've actually seen Game of Thrones, but I know it's a really popular show, obviously. So, I mean, hey, I'm down. I understand letting other directors have their chance, but I think all of the ideas just lined out instead of coming here. They need to sit down. Like, I just don't understand. Wouldn't you think? I don't know if this is just too much common sense, if there's actually an issue with it from a business point of view or something, but wouldn't you think, okay, we've just bought this for, what was it, 4.12 billion or something? Let's not waste our massive, like ridiculously massive investment. So let's sit down. maybe because George offered, but then they went in a completely different direction. George wanted nothing to do with it. He just couldn't do that. Sit down with George. He's the one that's created this ridiculously big fandom. Sit down with George. Get some ideas from him. Obviously, he already had a storyline for the sequel trilogy. Get some ideas from him. All right, let's sit down with everyone, get everyone involved. So both directors, if it's going to be JJ and Ryan, let's sit them down together. Everyone that's going to be involved in it, and let's map this thing out. Let's leave. Obviously, there could be a couple little things, like little details, but like something like Rey's origin. Let's map all of this out. Let's map it all out, and we'll put people whose strengths align with the storyline. So, like Ryan's really good at cinematography. So, like some of those shots in Last Jedi are pretty cool, but the storyline sucked. And I hate every bit of, not every bit of it, but I hate like 99% of it with every fiber of my being. But that's like, yeah, when you buy something for that much money and you know how big this thing is, when you sit down and just like intricately plan it out. All right, this is the roadmap from whenever they would have started 2012, 2013 through to 2019 when the last movie is going to come out. Let's map this out. Take as much time as you need, 6 months or whatever. 3 months, 6 months. Let's map this whole thing out. This is the story. This is who's going to work on this bit. And then there's at least a bit of cohesion. Because, like, Adam Driver came out recently and said the storyline for Kylo was originally going to be, like, a reverse of Vader. Vader starts off really strong in the dark side and ends up, redeeming himself. Whereas Kylo starts off, shaky, vulnerable, not completely dedicated to the dark side, and then ends up fully immersed in it by the time of the last episode. But then, JJ started that, and then Ryan's come in and just done something completely different. So, like, there's just no cohesion. One director's doing this thing, another one's doing the other thing, then that one that did the first one has to come back, and his plans have gone out the window. So, it's, yeah. The biggest thing with Star Wars for 40 years was it had one direction, one vision. It wasn't a director of the week trying to use Star Wars for their work agenda. Yeah. Oh, man. It did, though. It did, because she was meant to get her own. There was talks of her, getting her own series, and then there was obviously going to be the Rangers of the New Republic, which she probably would have had a pretty decent role in. So yeah, that would have thrown a lot out. Learning the Force through proximity to a Force user. Don't need to train, learn, grow, fail. Keep trying. Don't need a mentor. Just standing in line at a quickie map. I almost 2 weeks. Oh, see, that's one of my biggest. That's what like a lot of people's problem is with the writing of Rey. She was able to literally download some Force abilities from Kylo. It was ridiculous. Okay, you know what? I hated Ezra. Like weird tentacles. He was too whiny and always like, you don't understand me, etc. So I couldn't stand him. Like Sabine, Hera never liked Kanan. Never liked Kanan. Wow. Never liked Kanan. What about when he cut his hair though? Because he cuts his hair. When's he cut it? It's obviously cut by the time of the last season. I think. When does he cut it? I think it's cut in season 3 as well, isn't it? He was too whiny. They've all been whiny at some point. Like Anakin could be perceived as whiny at sometimes, although his dialogue makes complete sense. Luke could be perceived as whiny sometimes. The Confederacy of Independent Systems would be a great subject as well. Why they wanted to stay. That's a good point. Now we're really getting into the lore. of it. I'm definitely going to make a note of that. Julie should just be like my ghostwriter or something. Julie can come up with all my video ideas. They've stayed numerous times that they know better than George, and he gets too much credit. Harvey Weinstein's personal said less than many times Acolyte is better. She said some very questionable things. She has said so. Yeah, nah. I'm going to give the Acolyte a chance because I've seen the trailer, and the trailer looks unreal. There's like a scene where a bunch of Jedi light up a saber, That was one of the series I penciled in when they all got announced at the end of 2020. The Acolyte, I'm very, very interested in. Because what's about 100 years before the Phantom Menace, and it's from the Sith's point of view. So I'm very, very intrigued. I just hope, I hope they don't wreck it. I really, really hope they don't wreck it. Really hope they don't wreck it. Yeah, and even like one of the actors just said a few questionable things. You've almost got to have like you've almost got to have like someone's going to do up like an intro to Star Wars pack for every new person that gets involved in Star Wars, whether you're like a director or actor or something, like, because I feel like some of them come in and they don't have much of a background with Star Wars, which is fine, but it's you got to know a bit about it. You've got to know a bit about it. Because like this actor came in, she's talking about like the patriarchy and how Star Wars hasn't really had that much strong female characters. I'm just like, there's been Princess Leia, there's been Ahsoka, there's been Padme, there's been Bo-Katan. Like, you could keep going. You can keep going. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Oh, okay. So just the voice actor. Okay, no, I get it. Yeah, he's quite what's the word? Because like I've heard him talk about Star Wars before. And he's very like he's got his opinions and he sticks by him. Some of them I agree with, some of them maybe not so much. But yeah, no, you could tell he's sort of done with Star Wars, which is fine. Some of them don't want to get immersed in like sort of the whole fandom of it and all that, which is it's fine. Like, they're an actor first and foremost, so some of them I get just want to do the acting and that's it. But obviously there's a lot more that comes with it. Yeah. No, I don't mind that at all. I I might I'll probably work on I like the Legends in Legends in Canon video a lot. So I'm probably that could be my next video actually. That could be my next long form video. But then yeah, I might work on that one other. Ezra was whining, but so is Omega. I think base is that kids go through that stage. Exactly. You ought to have Julie on. I might ought to have Julie on. I might have to have Julie on. We should get a Commander Jesse, a Rayside, and a Julie link up on a stream one day. I don't know if any of you guys saw. I don't know if any of you guys saw in in Hannah's Discord the other night, or it would have been probably during the day for you guys. She I put a photo of myself in. I think I'd had a couple drinks. I put a photo of myself in there having a drink. It was like, have a good weekend. She's seen my face before, I think. That is not the first photo of me she's seen. But she's done a side-by-side comparison with Echo. I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. I might need to. I'll finish watching this and then I'm going to go back in the Discord and get it. It's in the images tab on Hannah's Discord if you guys want to see it. But it shouldn't be super far up. I have faith for Acolyte, the guy from Squid Game. See, I haven't seen Squid Games either, but I do know that he's awesome. And Amanda was in Hunger. Shit, she was the one that dressed up as Padme, wasn't she? And her performance was amazing. Yeah, oh, that's right. She was Rue, was her name Rue, the little girl in like the first Hunger Games movie. That's right. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, I know that was like why, just why. Yeah, no, I won't ignore it, dude. Like that, I remember when that happened just under a year ago, like 10 months ago, and yeah, no, yeah, that was a bit questionable. I think maybe just a bit of PR training there or something. You do have to know a bit about it, but at the end of the day, when the blaster trooper or saber comes flying at you, it doesn't matter anymore. Fair enough. Fair enough. all of the Acolyte actors are forever on about the white American male patriarchy. Men it's advised an Acolyte is a safe space for gay women and minorities, and surprised men avoid it. I've got faith. I've only seen things from 2 people involved in. I don't know if there's been others. I've only seen 2. One from one of the actors, and obviously the director said a few questionable things, putting it politely. Yeah, so apparently now I have to. Well, I mean, if I look like Echo's just a lot paler, isn't he? Do I have to put a screwdriver on my hand as well now? Rumor is Acolyte in May. I thought I saw that somewhere. You'd think, what is that? That's only 3 months away. You'd think we'll get a trailer. I mean, we got the trailer for Bad Batch, and it comes out in less than a month after the trailer. So who knows? They might leave it until April. They might leave it until like April. So I don't know. But hopefully a trailer soon. Because yeah, we're not hearing a lot. It's like they just randomly dropped a trailer for Bad Batch. Yeah, ruined she cosplays. Yeah, dude, that's like a full circle moment where she cosplayed. Oh, sorry, yeah, she played Rue. I was like, what? Notice that none of these shows or movies ever talk about plot themes or stories. It's all about race, gender. Are we talking about like actors and that, like in like actors and directors involved with it, talking about it like in interviews and like PR for the stuff, or are you talking about like actually in the shows and movies? Jesse, did you see the video of Tim Morrison jogging as the car is going by and people in the car realize who he is? They roll down the window and he walks up and starts. No? Is there a link for this? And when was this? No, I have not seen this. If you have a link for it, if you don't have a link, that's okay. But if you've got a link for it, I would love to see this. I love seeing actors, or even celebrities, but actors and all that, interacting with people. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. We still haven't actually answered the Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Obviously, Obi-Wan.
Got the audience win. That was the winner. You're having a birthday party. You can only invite one. R2-D2 or C-3PO? Who do you invite?
You always make me choose.
I always make you choose.
R2
It's a new
and
scenario, though. It's a
not fair.
birthday party. So who's going to be the most fun at your birthday party?
I mean, I feel bad for, Anthony Daniels is a real, he's in the suit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to pick C-3PO.
C-3PO, very nice.
So R2's my guy, right?
Yeah. R2's there.
I'm not choosing.
Yeah.
Smart.
Would you rather fly an X-Wing or a TIE fighter? You can only choose one.
TIE fighter.
TIE fighter. Let's get it.
The Jedi Starfighters are actually based, or not based, but they're moving closer. That's why they changed the design in Episode 3 to look a bit more like a TIE fighter, just showing that like production was getting closer to being the Republic manufacturing was getting closer to what the TIE fighters would look like. So that was actually the whole design of the Jedi Starfighters in Episode 3. So that kind of makes sense. And obviously it's Vader too. So.
Would you rather be skilled with a lightsaber or skilled with the Force?
Definitely skilled with the Force.
Yeah.
Use Jedi mind tricks or like cool twirly behind your back move. I think I'm gonna go with.
You came up with the cool twirly behind the back
What
move.
do you speak of? Would you rather kiss a Wookiee or kiss a Gungan?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I gotta choose.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do it, you may as well just go for it, and I'm gonna go for yeah. I don't know. See, Jar Jar had that tongue that was like. I'm gonna go with Wookiee.
Wookiee was the winner.
Probably.
Was the winner, and last but not least, who wore their hair better, Obi-Wan or Anakin?
Well, which film are we talking about? Because I think it really depends on the movie.
Yeah. Well, let's do a quick cheer now for Padawan Braid versus the luscious locks from Revenge of the Sith. So, Attack of the Clones, Padawan Braid. Okay.
We're choosing between
What you're gonna
Anakin's
choose for, yeah.
Anakin's Padawan braid and Obi-Wan's look from
mullet,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he wore that mullet really well.
Yeah.
But the Padawan braid I really like too. I thought that was, I was a fan of that.
Super cute. Yeah. But I think the ultimate.
Yeah, we'll go with the mullet with Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan mullet, but okay, then one more. Obi-Wan mullet versus Revenge of the Sith. Rock hair.
Luscious locks.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan wins episode 2. Anakin wins episode 3.
Luscious locks.
Luscious locks.
MegaCon 2024. This is your Jedi double feature.
That's so cool, man. That's so. Oh, dude, I want to meet him one day. So bad. Him and Mark Hamill are like tied at the very top. Need to meet them one day, man. Need to meet them. Who have you got? Have you guys been to conventions? Who have you guys met? Need to know. Need to know. Where did StreamYards go? There. So where the hell did I just go? Yeah, it's something they talk about in the Star Wars archives. If I can quickly find the photo. But yeah, there's a bit in here where they're talking about it because originally I think the design was going to be like closer to the episode 2 one. You know how it's like a bit longer, but it was going to have the episode 3 wings on it. But then George edited it. I don't even know what page this is going to be on. But yeah, then George changed it to look more like the TIE fighters, just to sort of show that's where production was heading. Because yeah, there's a photo of it in here where it actually shows the little edits he made, like what it was originally going to look like versus what we actually got. Also, there's going to be a Wookiee Jedi as well. We're going to see that. I'm seeing what there is as I go back through this. I want to say it was towards the start of the Revenge of the Sith chapter, but I honestly do not know. I'll see if I can find it real quick. Oh, God. This is... Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, there's some concept art of what they're going to look like. Yep, here it is. Found it. So yeah, he changed it. So this is... See if you guys can see. Yeah, Gunji. Yeah, I'll show you there was going to be a full-sized Wookiee, so I'll see if you guys can see that. So that was originally what it was going to look like. The cockpit was going to be a bit different. That little blue sticky note is what George drew over the top, and then obviously that's what we ended up with up the top there. That's sort of originally what it was going to look like. And see the droid? It was going to be on the back too, but George changed it so the droid was on just one of the wings. Gunji, yeah, Gunji, Gunji, I think. Because yeah, you see him in Bad Batch too. He survived. But where's the Wookiee Jedi? I know he's here somewhere. Where is he? I just went past him. Where is he? I can tell you're probably not a fan of how many survived Order 66. But yeah, no, here's the that was going to be the Wookiee Jedi. What's actually written about it? Just says like additional Jedi designs were needed to fight the Clone Wars and for the Jedi Council, and one of the concept artists suggested a Wookiee Jedi that was drawn on December 6th, 2002. So a long time ago. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. TIE fighters were super neat, but back when I was a kid, everyone wanted to fly an X-Wing. I suppose the main appeal of them is the sound, isn't it? That screaming sound. That'd be the main appearance of them, wouldn't it? Appearance. Main appeal of it. I've only seen Tim Rose from far away. He plays Admiral Akbar. That's still pretty cool. That's still pretty cool. Wonder how many people would ask, like, say, this is a trap. It's a trap. They showed the Wookiee youngling in Clone Wars. Oh, yeah, no, I've already gone through that. It's my ringtone. What, the TIE fighter noise? The TIE fighter noise is your ringtone. That's, I mean, it would definitely wake me up. That is slightly terrifying, though. That is slightly terrifying. I didn't see the butthurt over so many Jedi surviving in Order 16. No, neither. Given 10k spread all over the galaxy, no way to kill them all. Palps needed to kill the Council and the main/famous Jedi. Yeah, and they touch on it in the comics, the 2017 ones, which take place just after Revenge of the Sith. And they've got like a list, and they go through it all. Like they kill Eth Koth. And I'm pretty sure the last Jedi they kill is one that's hiding out on Mon Cala. And, you know, like Vader goes back there, and he's getting flashbacks to when they had that mission there during the Clone Wars, like Kit Fisto and all that. And yeah, it gets to a point where like there's just none out there. Like there's obviously some out there, but they just can't find them. Like they're not making themselves known. They just they can't find them. And Palpatine pretty well said, like, you know, it's not important. Like we've crushed them. We've taken hope away from them. They're all spread sparsely. Like they've lost everything. So we've done our job for now. He was, and probably a bit overconfident too. It scares people. I switch it up with the lightsabers. See, I don't know if that'd wake me. I honestly don't know if the lightsaber sound is it just like the ignition sound and then it repeats, or is it like ignition and then like the hum, the zoom of the lightsaber? By killing off the Council and outlawing the rest, that affected. Yeah. They still wanted to track them all down, but they'd got what they could for now. So. Okay, I found the novel on hardback for 40-ish. It's in pretty good condition, but I'm not getting a new condition because it's like 200 plus USD. Oh, wait, which one? The Revenge of the Sith one? This one? Because I know you said you wanted that book before. We talking about Revenge of the Sith, or are we talking about the Star Wars Archives? Star Wars Archives. Revenge of the Sith. Wait, what'd you say? A new condition because it's like 200 USD. What? 200 USD for a brand new hardback Revenge of the Sith. That's nuts. That's nuts. That's nuts. 200 USD. I was gonna say, I reckon I got my copy off eBay for like, I don't know, maybe 20 Australian, which is like 13 USD or something. And yeah, that's a hardback one. He also had the public opinion turned against the Jedi. He knew that it was it. Remember the Marks? Yeah, they were convinced the Jedi started the war and didn't care about regular folk. Yeah. No, Palpatine had been doing it for a while. Just wait, sorry, excuse me. I'm going to need to dig back into the Revenge of the Sith book. I feel like I remember there being a little bit about that where they're talking about Palpatine. The introduction, like the introduction to the Revenge of the Sith novel is like, it's chilling in a way. It's chilling in a way. What is it? It's like This story happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It is already over. Nothing can be done to change it. It is a story of love and loss, brotherhood and betrayal, courage and sacrifice, and the death of dreams. It is a story of the blurred line between our best and our worst. It is the story of the end of an age. A strange thing about stories, though this all happened so long ago and so far away that words cannot describe the time or the distance, it is also happening right now, right here. It is happening as you read these words. This is how 25 millennia came to a close. Corruption and treachery have crushed 1,000 years of peace. This is not just the end of a republic. Night is falling on civilization itself. This is the twilight of the Jedi. The end starts now. Why do I get goosebumps? Why do I get goosebumps reading that? I genuinely have them. I feel like there was a bit in here about Palpatine changing public opinion, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining things or I read it somewhere else. But yeah, they talk about him briefly and they're saying like he's more than respected. He's loved, and without him, the Republic will collapse. How is the Phantom Menace novel much cheaper new than the Revenge of the Sith novel? That's insane. Probably the Revenge of the Sith novel has a reputation as just being like insanely good, so that'd probably be why. Fun thing with the Phantom Menace novels, though, I think there's 4 covers. There's 4 covers. There's a Darth Maul, there's an Anakin, there's an Obi-Wan. I don't think Qui-Gon's one. Darth Maul, Anakin, Obi-Wan. And there's another cover. Padme. Padme's the other one. Anakin, Maul, Padme, Obi-Wan. Because yeah, Obi-Wan's got a green background. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's not Qui-Gon. I know that's where I got confused on Qui-Gon. What is your favorite movie out of all of them? What's your guys' favorite? Mine, I can't pick between Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi. I can't pick. I cannot pick. I cannot pick. I cannot separate them for the life of me. Like, same with Luke and Anakin. Like, they're just 2 things I cannot for the life of me separate. Cannot separate, but those 2 are my favorite characters, favorite movies. And when I say Anakin, favorite character, Vader's included in that. Anakin / Vader and Luke. I don't have any like super niche ones or anything. But yeah. But yeah, how long have I been streaming for? Over 2 hours. Why does it go so quick? Why does it go so quick? I reckon I was about under an hour just chilling and watching Hayden's interview. And then like, yeah, all you guys, Hannah must have ended her stream. All you guys came in here. And yeah, we were just chatting for like an hour solid. That was very good. Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I reckon that's probably 3rd for me. Like, obviously, Revenge and Return are tied first, so Empire's probably after them. But I just can't, like, were you able to see the film in cinema? Were you old enough when the film came out in cinemas? I just could not imagine the reaction. Could not imagine. That'd be nuts. Because when minds come together and ideas flow, it's a beautiful thing. Facts, Julie. Facts. Okay, this confuses me. I honestly don't know the difference between hardcover and library binding on Amazon. Maybe Google it. I'm not sure what library binding is. That wouldn't mean just like paperback, would it? And it's like a different way of saying it. I don't know. You were? Julie saw him in cinema. Talk me through it. Talk me through it. I think I might have spoken to Julie about it before. I'm not sure in a stream. But still, talk me through it. Talk me through it. Basically, I'm trying to get the movie novels in an Amazon playlist. I'm starting with Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, now I'll eventually get them all too, because I know they just add so much to the movie as well. It was insane. People cheering and crying when Darth tossed the Emperor. People stood and cheered. Because in the original movie one, he doesn't say no, does he? It's all silent. Like, he doesn't say anything when he picks him up, does he? They added that in. Because I've seen that version too, and I'm like, I honestly don't know what I'd rather. I like both. I like both. I saw Star Wars in the theater at age 9, then Empire Return as well. That would have been so cool, man. That would have been because I was still too young when the prequels were coming out. I was like 5 when Revenge of the Sith came out. Not even. I would have been 4. I would have been 4 when Revenge of the Sith came out. So like I was too young. The first ones I got to see in theaters were all the Disney stuff. So yeah. I wish they did screenings of like the OT and the prequels in cinemas near me. They don't. They don't. The lines to see Star Wars were stretched all around the theaters. Every single theater had Star Wars in the Cinedome with 16 theaters. That would have been insane, dude. I love American theaters too, man. Like when I went over there a bit over a year ago, like I didn't actually go into a theater, but just seeing them from the outside, like they're just like, they're what a theater should look like, man. I don't know. I just like the appearance of your theaters. People would leave, come right back in and buy another ticket. See, when was the last time we had a film that people would go to and just rewatch? Cinema's dying, unfortunately, because everything's going streaming. I know Star Wars movies will still release in cinemas, but cinema's kind of dying, dude. I used to love going to the cinema. It was such an experience. My first theater experience with Star Wars was Force Awakens. I saw it the second time at Disney and chills, absolute chills. Just seeing, dude, I cannot wait to see that Star Wars pop up on the screen, the music, and then you'll see the description start scrolling. That's what we need. That's what we need. My friend's parents owned a movie theater, so we got to watch. What? I watch indie, but I can appreciate that. But Star Wars, like, what? That's insane. I used my paper route tips and money to go see Empire, rode our bikes across town to the theater. See, I wasn't alive for this sort of stuff, just like that sort of era, but I wish I was, man. It just seems like such a simple life. It's so peaceful and just... dude. I'm so bummed I missed it. Yeah, they didn't even do it in Australia, man. They didn't even do it. I think I might have said afterward. I think I might have said it to a couple other Aussie content creators. Like, they just didn't do it here in Australia. I feel like someone might have said they did it at like one little cinema in some other state, like just in the middle of nowhere, like not even in like a capital city or anything, just in like some little town. I think at like the local cinema, I can actually, like, if you want, you can like rent it out and get whatever put on. So like, if I really wanted to, I could, and I might actually. I'm actually trying to think about it now. I might, but I know I'd be the only one in there. But I wish they just did it. Like, I'm sure some of you guys are. Oh, actually, because a lot of you are from Hannah's channel, you'd probably all be familiar with Retney's Holocron if you weren't already, because she did the interview with him the other day. But I think yesterday or something, his local theater did the whole original trilogy. Like, that'd be so cool. I want that. When Obi-Wan showed up, people gasped and started quoting the Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm not really familiar with the movie, but I know obviously Alec had quite an esteemed career. I know, right? I shoveled snow to save money for tickets. That's awesome. I love little stories like that. That's awesome. I love that. In the cinema, when the slow scroll run and the theme song comes out, people are jumping and screaming and hugging each other. That'd be so cool, man. That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. See, that's the thing with the sequels. There was such a, especially like my last Star Wars cinema experience was obviously Rise of Skywalker. It was so negative compared to this. There was no cheering and stuff. There was groans and like when she said Rey Skywalker and buried the lightsabers. There was just groans and people walking out. Like complete polar opposites. There was no internets and other leaks and YouTubers with hot takes on knowing everything about it months before it came. I know, you're just going completely fresh. What was it like with trailers back then? How did, like, because obviously they wouldn't have come out on YouTube like they do now and like on Twitter and stuff. Did they just air on TV randomly? Like you'd see them as an advertisement? Like, what was the go with trailers back then? Because I remember seeing the trailer for Revenge of the Sith going. So obviously you guys have Blockbuster, or had Blockbuster's not a thing anymore, really, is it? You guys had Blockbuster. We had Blockbuster too in Australia, but we also had another thing. I don't know if you guys had it. We had Video Easy, which was the exact same as Blockbuster. And my town had a Blockbuster and a Video Easy. I remember walking around Video Easy, like renting movies. This one was like, this is just before Revenge of the Sith came out, I think. And the trailer, they had a couple of TVs. They're just spamming trailers of movies coming out and stuff. And I remember seeing the Revenge of the Sith trailer, and I always remember thinking when I watched this movie, Obi-Wan and Yoda are going to fight. Because in the trailer, it looked like you saw Obi-Wan use the Force, and then the next thing cut to, I think it might have been Yoda when he gets thrown by Sidious. And I was like, what? I was like, Obi-Wan and Yoda fight. I was like, it confused me. It like mind fucked the shit out of me. Yeah, that was 4-year-old me thinking, okay, when I see this movie, I'm going to see Obi-Wan and Yoda fight. You waited 3 years, went to see it, no spoiler shows or hate months ahead. It was an event, and as a kid, you couldn't sleep before. Oh, dude, I can imagine. You'd be like it'd be like Christmas, wouldn't it? Sleep on the night before Christmas, or trying to. People were dressing like Billy D. Williams. It was so good. Men would dress like him and have 5 women around him. Oh man, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yes, TV trailers, and everyone at school was talking about the trailers. Man. Yeah, see, I wasn't at school when they were coming out. I was like baby pretty well. Well, the first one came out before I was born. Like in terms of the prequels. We had family video when they're all the time as a kid. Yeah, okay. And Sin back then it was one screen, that was it. Yeah, right. No VHS back then, bro. Look, that was right after, but that was super. Yeah, I could imagine. Even like, yeah. I'm thinking probably the only thing I've got to compare it to is like maybe when Blu-ray came out. Like DVDs were a thing, but then when Blu-ray came out, that was expensive, and not everyone could afford them, and really limited movies on VHS to way like, yeah, right. Because I remember like, and then TVs would have not just DVD players, but they'd have like you could play Blu-ray movies in them. And I also saw all 3 at the drive-in movie theater. People were seeing on Bruce's cars. Yeah, see, I think my mum, she's not like, she'll watch Star Wars, but she's not like super into Star Wars. She saw Return of the Jedi, I think, at a drive-in. Do you guys still have drive-in theaters over there? Our last one shut down a few years ago. Oh, that's so good. Do any of you guys actually have your ticket stubs from the movie still? That'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure I've definitely got mine. I reckon I think I still save my tickets to the movies. I have most of my tickets to movies still around, I reckon. I've definitely got my Rise of Skywalker in my wardrobe somewhere. Yeah, right. It just seems like such a cool era to be a part of, man. Would have been so cool. And then like seeing like all the stores filled with Star Wars toys and things like that. It looks sick, man. Looks sick. No, I don't. I had the one from Return of My Mum, probably tossed my stuff. No. That would have been so cool, man. That would have been so cool. Would have been such would have been such a cool era. Watch the documentary. The lines of people were insane. They did not expect. I've seen like the videos of the line for like Phantom Menace. You know, people line up. I can vividly remember the footage of that dude when he walks in, gets his ticket, and he just like collapses on the ground, like crying, like happy tears. But yeah, I don't know if I've seen much of like when the first one came out in '77. Because yeah, it's like a brand new thing, isn't it? And it's like, I know Alec Guinness and that probably thought it was a bit silly, but did better than any one of them could have imagined. Oh, Star Wars back in theaters is gonna be very, very good, very good. When my mum took me to see Star Wars, there's local news cameras interviewing people and lines were across. That's the original one. That's insane. Wow. All right, but I've had some things come up for the rest of the day, guys. So I appreciate you all coming in. What did we be? Almost 2.5 hours. I appreciate you all coming in. That was a good stream. Not my usual time. Just had today off work, so yeah, thought I'd stream at a bit more friendly time for some of the American viewers. And I don't know if Isaac will be back next week, because I know he's got something on this Sunday where we'd normally stream. It would be Saturday night for you guys. But worst case scenario, if we can't get Isaac on at all, I'll do it again just on my channel. Because Isaac's in his last year of school, so he's quite busy with that sort of stuff. So yeah, no pressure there at all. We'll just take it week by week, and hopefully most weeks it'll be an always 2 there are 1 on both of our channels. But yeah, worst case scenario, I'll still mostly be available. So yeah. I'll get through the last few. I was 9 the music, the effects, and seeing the stormtroopers come through the blown up door and Vader stepped in. Yeah, yeah. Yes. That would have been insane. I love hearing Mark Hamill's little bit about it, because he was a bit of a student of George as well. And he sort of asked George, like, why don't you have someone go like, oh, that's Darth Vader, like the Dark Lord of the Sith? And George is like, he did his little impression of George. He's like, He's like, we'll have a white background, white stormtroopers, and big black dude walk through. They'll get the picture. And obviously the picture was gotten. So yeah, quite economical storytelling, but so smart. Appreciate you, Sin. Appreciate you always come in. We've always got lots to talk about for sure. Really great, man, Miami. Love your comments, interaction. No, Julie, thank you for coming. You've given me some great YouTube video ideas. I'll definitely get started on the Legends in Canon explanation. That's a really good idea. I hadn't actually thought of that, so thank you for that. I'll be sure to shout you out in the video. Next Sunday, I know. That is a great point. That is a great point. So I'll do it Sunday my time, around this time, like 11:30 when I started, which is 5 p.m. for Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern States. So it'll be Saturday night for you guys. So that can be the little warm up for the Super Bowl. Yeah, some of you guys can come in here if you guys are in here next week. Explain the Super Bowl to me. Explain football and explain the Super Bowl to me. I tried to get into it. I wanted to get into an American sport. I tried to get into it. I picked the Seahawks as my team, and didn't quite eventuate from there. But NBA is what I've fallen in love with. I absolutely adore basketball. I pay attention to the NFL a little bit, but I don't understand a whole lot of it. So yeah. You've become a favorite, sure. Thanks so much, Julie. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of our interactions. Got some good books here. I know. You've been spoiling the absolute shit out of me. So thank you so much. The game kicks off about 3:30 p.m. Okay. Oh, really? No way. No way. The Force works in mysterious ways. Yes, so I'll probably try lock in a stream. Who knows? There could even be 2 streams. I don't know. There might be a stream, always 2 there are with me and Isaac, and then I might do one on like 11:30 because it's 11:30 a.m. my time. So yeah, hey, get some of you guys in. Hasn't Hannah been asking for football to be explained? We might need to tee something up. We need our viewers to explain football. Don't mind it at all. Do not mind it at all. But yeah, until next time, may the force be with you. Always.